Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Long Walk Talks. I am your host, David Hensley. I'm the owner and creative director of Long Walk Productions, and I am joined today by my co-host, Chris Barnes. Say hi, Chris.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Podmas.
And it's just going to be the two of us today. Stan is in Las Vegas. We're going to give him a call here in a little bit so he can weigh in with his opinions on today's topic. And
he might not have time. I have a lot to say.
Yeah, there's a lot to say. We are also guestless because trying to coordinate this many people who all have full-time jobs with varying schedules to record a podcast is more difficult than it should be. So because of that and because of the difficulty we've had in getting people together, especially this time of year with the holidays approaching, before we get started talking, I'm going to quickly go over what you can expect from Long Walk Talks starting back in January after our brief holiday break. I think Chris has something he'd like to say.
No, when we get into it, it's fine. You go ahead.
All right. So we will be taking a holiday hiatus. This episode will be coming out on, what is today's date? The 16th? 15th. All right. So this episode will be coming out on Monday, December 17th. And then we're going to be taking, we both just realized the irony here. So this episode will come out on the 17th, and we won't have a new episode of Long Walk Talks until January. Now, there will be a new episode of This Is a Work for those of you who listen to both of our podcasts coming out later the week of the 17th because TLC, Tables, Ladders, and Chairs, premieres tomorrow night on the Sunday the 16th. If you listen to This Is a Work, hopefully you'll have had time to watch it when that comes out. So that's the product you're going to be getting from us for this month. Starting in January, when we come back, we're going to have a very special episode featuring our friend Kara Hayes, a historian with a master's degree in, I believe it's U.S. history. We're going to be doing an episode about historical accuracy in period pieces.
We're going back to school.
Yep. We have each picked a movie, me, Stan, Chris, and Kara.
I should have had her watch Back to School.
And then Kara will be talking about the historical accuracy of that film, whether it is or isn't at all historically accurate. Chris, do you think we should tell the listeners what films we picked, or should we just... It might give them a chance if they are interested in watching.
That's true.
They want to check them out for the episode.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and just spoil it a little bit or get them ready.
All right. I picked Django Unchained because it's a Western, and I'm a Tarantino fanboy.
Tarantino, master of authenticity.
Yes. I'm very interested. I know, I'm pretty certain that he took a lot of historical liberties with that film. I'm interested in hearing what they are. Kara has already told me earlier this week when we got together about a big one in the film. So I'm interested to hear what else there is. Chris, what did you pick?
I picked The Road to Wellville. It is I want to say comedy. It's mostly a comedy set in the early 1900s during the the original health craze of the nation, and it centers around John Kellogg's wellness center and people going to it for various reasons. And if you ever look up both Reverend Sylvester Graham and John Kellogg and their beliefs, and you'll understand why this is going to get weird.
Yeah. I've heard the description. I've heard Chris and Kara talk about it. I haven't seen this film, but I'm interested to hear how insane it gets. Stan picked the film Bridge of Spies, which is more recent than, Django's pretty recent, 2012.
Was it that long ago? God, time is escaping me.
Yeah, he's released another film since then, the much less interesting Hateful Eight. And then I just texted Kara to ask her what her film was because I completely forgot. I know at one point I think she was talking about doing Gone with the Wind, but I think she changed that to something else. Hopefully she'll get back to me here in a few minutes. After our historical accuracy episode, we're going to do another roundtable discussion episode. I know what film I want us to do, but these things are never set in stone. So I'm not going to say that yet in case it changes. And then to celebrate our 10th episode of Long Walk Talks, we're going to do a Perfect 10 episode in which we all pick 3 to 5 films that we consider perfect 10s and talk about those. And if you think that celebrating recording 10 episodes of a podcast is not a big deal. You've clearly never tried to produce one.
Oh, definitely.
Especially considering our first attempt at a podcast, the ill-fated Long Talk Productions.
Love that name.
Made it, I think, 8 episodes.
No, I think we made it to 10 right as it died.
Yeah, so hopefully that's not the case with
I don't
this
think
one.
so, but it's just trying to coordinate people, trying to sit down and talk. It really becomes like the biggest challenge of your life.
Yeah, we know all about the difficulty of scheduling people because of a long time ago we did a web series that I just kept adding cast members to, and getting us all together was a nightmare. So Kara still has not responded yet with her historical film, so we're going to go ahead and get started talking.
We'll keep running live updates.
Yes. And we are going to be calling Stan for his thoughts in 25 minutes. It's now 10:05. So, Chris, let's get talking about the 1999.
Well, hold on. Before we jump into that, I think I just want to set the mood a little bit. I mean, we both know it's the holidays. It's a great time of year. I know you love it.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's
like
my favorite
it too.
time of year.
Yeah, it's absolutely wonderful. And one of the things you do is like Christmas specials are everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You can't escape them because they start as early as November.
Mm-hmm. Typically, Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, I think it's ABC, runs Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and
Yeah.
Frosty the Snowman.
They run most of the Rankin Bass, stuff.
ABC Family, or it's not even ABC Family,
Freeform now.
Freeform
Yeah.
starts airing Elf and all the other what are now considered Christmas classics.
Oh yeah, and some that aren't because it's to fill time. But
Back in 1999, I was
I'll tell you, and that's great. And it's like, and however you enjoy the holidays is awesome. But sometimes you got to let out a little steam.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you sit down and you watch something, because you sit down and you watch something that's not great. And so when Dave suggested this, I was like, "What? No, that sounds fine." It was like an hour-long special. I'm not even saying the name yet because I want to keep you in suspense, despite you've seen the title.
Yeah, I always love this thing that podcasts do when the hosts make a grand announcement of what the episode is about,
Yeah.
even though you've probably read the title of the episode before you hit play. But we're going to drag this out a little bit longer just because.
And I was teasing Dave leading up to this, saying, "Well, I mean, clearly you've chose this because you hate puppies and Christmas," and
Then you rewatched it too.
I sat down. Admittedly, I don't think I had watched it or if I'd all the way through since it premiered in 1999.
Mm-hmm.
And I did. I sat down after work, after a nice long shift at work, to sit down and watch this. And boy, do I apologize, Dave.
Well, going back to your point about the Christmas classics.
Yes.
I was 13 years old when this came out, December 17th, 1999.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it'll be appropriate that this episode is dropping on December 17th. It'll be 19 years since this premiered. When I was a kid, we didn't have new Christmas specials.
Yeah,
as
very
far as I
rare.
knew, we
Kinda
had the
rarely
classics.
happened, yeah.
We had Rudolph and we had Frosty, The Year Without a Santa Claus.
Nothing that really stuck at that
Yeah,
point.
we had the Peanut special and the Garfield Christmas special.
Yeah.
So the fact that we were getting a brand new animated Christmas special was huge.
based on a pretty well-received book, from what I know.
Yeah, the book had come out in '97.
Yeah.
This special was produced by Matt Groening, featuring the voice of Drew Barrymore. This was set to be new Christmas classic gold. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about the classic Olive, the Other Reindeer. Olive, hard pause, the Other Reindeer. And if you've watched the special, you know that hard pause is important because they feel like driving the point home every single time they say that phrase, Olive, the Other Reindeer. Chris, what the fuck is this film?
Going hard early, huh? All right. Well, it's saddening is what it is. This was, I should point out, 1999, Matt Groening, wow, Matt Groening, executive producing this. The same year, Futurama premiered. This was the first season of Futurama happening at the same time. Like, successfully spinning off of The Simpsons. This was a good year for him, and then this happened, and I'm sad in retrospect. It's just...
Well, Chris, let me ask you, what the fuck is this film?
Well, it's about 45 minutes without commercials. I'll start. Well, it happened. Should I just go into basic plot or try and...
Oh, yeah, because okay. I don't...
So, the basic plot is everyone finds out, this is a world where Santa is real and it's just a regular thing.
Mm-hmm. Everyone knows.
Santa exists. He's a staple of Christmas.
To the point where Santa gives press conferences.
Yes. I mean, it raises that kind of question of, like, do people regularly buy gifts for each other around Christmas in this kind of a world? Mm-hmm. Or do they just wait for Santa? I think they mainly wait for Santa from the gist of this special.
Well, no, because Olive has presents she is wrapping.
Right. Okay. Weird.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Blitzen breaks his leg. Or that's the point. It's like, Blitzen breaks his leg. And so now Santa's not sure he's going to have enough reindeer power. I mean, it's horsepower, essentially, to make the flight. Which, honestly, you'd think you'd have, like, I mean, magical creatures or no, you'd think you'd have some kind of, backup in case this kind of thing like this.
At least in Elf, he had, like, some kind of turbo booster strapped to the bottom of the sleigh.
You'd think after doing this for what would conceivably be centuries, there'd be some sort of backup plan if a reindeer breaks its leg.
Mm-hmm. Also, is this the first time in history that one of the reindeer has injured itself before Christmas?
I guess so, because it merits a press conference.
Yes.
It merits Santa going, I don't think I can do this anymore.
So, who is Olive,
Olive's
the other
a dog.
Reindeer?
Olive is a dog, despite her insistence later in the special. She is a dog who loves Christmas. She sings about it in the opening, and the song's all right, I guess.
Yeah, that's something else this film tries to do, which is periodically be a musical, which either commit or don't throw a weird musical number at us every 10 minutes or so.
And I would
you
say,
can get away with that in a feature film. In a child's 45-minute special, randomly throwing songs at you doesn't constitute a musical.
There's like 5 songs. There's at least 5 songs in the movie. And a movie, I say, but it's like it's like you said, it's 45 minutes.
Yeah,
Also,
I'm hesitant to call this a film.
If you want to watch along, by the way, you can find the whole thing on YouTube.
Yeah, that's how I watched it last night. Watched it for the second time. I hadn't watched it since 1999.
Spending money on this is just ridiculous.
No, don't do that. You can watch it completely for free. And in HD, thankfully.
Thank you, YouTube.
Mm-hmm. So Olive is a dog.
Olive is a dog. She is running. Yeah, she's doing her Christmas shopping, and she runs into a penguin.
And what's his name?
His name is Martini.
So we have Martini and Olive. Now, who voices? What classical celebrated actor voices Martini the penguin?
That would be Joseph Pantoliano.
Yep, Joey Pants, Joe Pantoliano, probably best known as Cypher in The Matrix and for his work on The Sopranos. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was The Sopranos.
Yeah, it was.
Voices a grifting penguin.
Who has been... Was he fired from the zoo?
He was fired from the zoo or kicked out of the zoo, I guess,
for stealing.
For stealing and for trying to break out the other animals. Now, this is a world in which every animal is anthropomorphic.
They can talk. They can talk, and you can understand them,
and you can interact with them.
Mm-hmm.
This terrifying world.
Well, it's interesting. I thought about this too. Basically, the relationship between Olive and Martini. I feel shame for saying that out loud. Something that I feel.
When he said his name, I audibly went, "Jesus Christ!"
I feel shame on behalf of the people who wrote this.
Mm-hmm.
I get puns, but it's just. But what was I going to say? It had to do with Martini. The relationship between them. Is actually it's funny that this happened around the same time as Futurama because they have the same kind of relationship as Fry and Bender.
Mm-hmm.
It's
the antagonistic best friend sort of thing.
Kind of, yeah, but
except that Olive already has an antagonistic best friend, a flea.
No, that's her pet.
Wait, what?
No, you might have missed that line. Because they spewed a lot of exposition in like the first 3 minutes. Like almost all the words out of their mouth were just like blah blah blah. Here's backstory. Well, see, Olive meets. Here, I'll speak to this. Olive meets Martini and Allie. Martini tries to sell some fake counterfeit merch to her. When a cop comes up, tries to arrest him for grifting. And Olive backs him up. Again, Olive is very nice about helping this clearly shady character because they overly establish that Olive is just super cool and nice. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Olive goes back to her home where her owner, Tim, ends up talking to her, asking her if she did. Oh, God. Did she do her dog chores today? Here's another problem Olive apparently has. She's too domesticated or too human-like because he gives her dog chores to do, as in stuff that dogs would probably like naturally be inclined to do that humans don't like. She's supposed to chew on stuff. She's supposed to bury bones, but she's not doing that. She's too busy out there getting gifts for people she loves.
And taking them back to her overly spacious doghouse.
Oh my God, I did not catch that at first.
This movie has a huge problem with consistency in size.
I did not catch that was her doghouse. I thought she was in the main house at first.
Nope.
I did not realize her doghouse is basically what the tiny houses would be for people who like just want to live in compact little spaces. Mm-hmm. That's what those are.
Well, so she lives there with. I thought they were best friends.
She said it's like it's in that same info dump where she explains that ever since he was tiny, Tim loved Christmas.
This movie is so unsubtle that the description of Olive's owner, Tim, she says that line. Ever since he was tiny,
wink, wink,
Tim loved Christmas. At another point at which I went, oh my God.
But yeah, she's like, well, the flea also talks. The flea is about, I want to say like the size of like a stuffed grape leaf.
That was a great reference for the listeners at home to understand. A stuffed grape leaf?
It's the nearest thing I could think of. It's like he's
way bigger than a flea should be.
Hold up your thumb. He's about that big.
Yeah.
But the flea's like, oh, it's weird. He's talking about Tim just being like, it's weird that he doesn't appreciate that you're just not like other dogs, and like you have a pet flea, and they dump a lot of backstory into this world that doesn't help.
Now, when Olive gets home, isn't Tim like taking down their Christmas tree and all of their Christmas decorations?
Right, because he says the phrase, and again, they don't explain this till.
Several minutes later.
That Santa's might not make a run, but it's like he's taking down the stuff. He's like, she's like, I got something about getting ready for Christmas, and he's like, there won't be a Christmas this year.
Yeah, it sounds very threatening.
Yes.
And so as they are flipping through Olive's radio, because the dog has a radio inside of her tiny home, they come across a news broadcast stating that Blitzen broke his leg and that Santa doesn't think there's going to be a Christmas this year. Yep. And he says they're just going to have to rely on, or they might just have to rely on, all of the other reindeer to guide his sleigh that night.
So Olive hears that and somehow...
And Olive brushes it off. Olive clearly heard all of the other reindeer.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Oh, yeah, no. Because the flea... What was the flea's name?
I don't care.
The fucking flea says...
Voiced by Peter McNichol.
Yes. Says, no, Olive, didn't you hear that? He said, Olive, hard stop, the other reindeer. And she says, no, he said...
This flea's a moron for reasons that are upcoming.
Yes. She says, no, he said all of. No, he said Olive. This conversation goes back and forth until she becomes convinced that she has to be the one to save Christmas by taking Blitzen's spot at the North Pole.
Yeah.
So, for some reason, this is around the point that I started blacking out. I should point out right now that I
Your mind was trying to protect itself.
This is no exaggeration. I paused YouTube to see how much time I had left, thinking I was 10 or 15 minutes into this film.
Oh no, I know what the 10 or 11 mark is.
I had paused it at exactly 6 minutes. I made it 6 minutes before I started checking the time on this.
So yeah, she because her owner Tim, voiced by Jay Moore, I should say, since she's convinced like this that what would make him happy again is if Santa could fly. She's like, I'll go be the replacement, and
save Christmas.
And save Christmas, and then he'll be happy with me.
So Tim comes back to apologize to
He
Olive.
tries to end the special early.
Yes, he comes back to apologize to her for being mean when she came back.
And here's where a big circle of dumb happens. First of all, Tim just comes up to the window instead of actually going inside the doghouse to talk directly. Mm-hmm. He talks through the window, and Olive is hiding because she thinks Tim is still mad.
So everything that he says to her, this bit is meant to be played for comedy. It just comes off as sad.
And depressing.
Tim is trying to apologize, but her flea friend interprets badly everything that he says, purposely twists everything that Tim says.
I say purposely because this flea's kind of an asshole.
Yes.
He's too stupid to live. Because basically Tim is like, I'm sorry, I was angry about Santa not being able to make a run, but let's come inside the main house and have a good fun Christmas together, basically.
The only example that I can remember of how the asshole flea tries to make this bad for Olive is he says something like, let's go inside the house and I'll put on another Yule log. And the flea is like, he said you're not allowed in the house and he's going to get another dog.
Yes.
It's a whole now that's the one that I remember. There's a whole conversation of these where the flea is just an asshole to her.
I feel like he did this just to make sure, because he wanted Olive to go be a reindeer. That's what it feels like, because there's no other way you can misinterpret things that badly. Unless you are...
Oh, yeah, no, I was under the impression he was just doing it to either be an asshole or to prompt her to run away.
He's too stupid to live. That's part of it. But yeah, so here's that, and she goes, well, I'm going to go to the bus station and go to the Arctic.
Yep, she's going to catch a bus to the North Pole.
A bus to the North Pole.
After she has a run-in with a mailman, the antagonist of the piece. I think it's time to just start speeding through this nightmare of a film.
She meets the mailman who hates her, who apparently just already hates her in general.
Also hates Christmas, sings a song about how much he hates Christmas.
Which honestly breaks down because it's like, well, no, people spend packages all year round. I know Christmas can be bad, but like the premise of this also dumb. Voiced by Dan Castellaneta, the voice of Homer.
Yeah, Kara just weighed in. I'll
doing his robot devil voice, I should point out.
Yeah, mailman hates Christmas. Olive loves Christmas. It's also a battle for the ages.
They throw in extra motivation later that he didn't get a toy he wanted when he was a kid.
I missed that completely.
Yeah.
So one of my biggest pet peeves when I am watching something that I either haven't seen in a while or haven't seen before, I hate it when people are on their phones. Can't stand it. I want to pay attention to the movie. If other people aren't paying attention, it kills me. I found myself like drifting in and out of this, picking up my phone, looking at Instagram, looking at Facebook, starting a game, and then being like, shit, no, I have to talk about this tomorrow morning.
I was in the same boat. I was, at this song, I was starting to switch to other tabs and just look through stuff. Like, I got to switch back. I might miss something.
Yeah. So I would put my phone down. A few minutes would pass. I wouldn't even think about it. I'd pick it up and do it again. That's about the point that this started happening. So Olive gets on a bus.
Well, no, Olive first gets to the bus station. And she, she gets to the window and she's like, I need one ticket to the Arctic. Again, driving to the Arctic.
I'm just going to gloss over that.
Ticket seller goes, riding or chasing? There were a couple genuine funny jokes in this, but... And it was about this point I started checking the timers. Like, we were about 11 minutes in.
That's it?
Yeah, around this part. And then Martini is also trying to board the bus and tries to convince convinces Olive to pay for his ticket. They're going to get on the bus and go. His reasoning was he was going to see if Santa will just offload any of the toys he's not going to take on the flight cheap so he can sell them at a markup.
Yep, grifter penguin.
Yeah. I forget. Oh, right. The mailman comes in to stop Olive because he somehow overheard Olive talking about this, which prompted the song earlier. So he comes in and says, "This dog is wanted for mail fraud." To capture her and keep her from getting on the bus, Martini helps her escape.
Yes, by throwing in one of the
Pens. Oh my God!
one of the worst physical comedy gags I've seen, whether in real life or in an
even by
animated
cartoon
film.
logic,
Even
this
by
doesn't
cartoon
work.
logic.
Because Martini's on, like, Olive is screaming for help. Martini's on the bus. He's about to just leave her, by the way. And before he decides to help, he throws pins to trip up the mailman. The mailman is across a large hall in the bus depot.
We cut to a close-up of the mailman's face as he is screaming, watching the pens
watched
slowly roll towards
He's
him.
watched this happen.
Rather than take a step back or step over them.
Or to the side.
Or just take a lazy lift to the left or right.
Yeah. He steps directly on them and falls over.
on them, Pratt falls, and Olive gets away.
And then they get on the bus and they start going to the Arctic. And this is the point where Olive has explained the mistaken premise of this entire special.
The bus driver, who looks like something straight out of a goddamn nightmare.
Voiced by Tim Meadows.
Yes. If you haven't watched this special and you don't want to, just Google image all of the other reindeer bus driver.
They tried to emulate the style of the children's book in a very papery way, and also adding in CG to give it more depth of, feel.
The animation looks like somebody looked at a Salvador Dali painting while high on peyote and said, "Hey, I can do that."
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, it's rough.
It's rough, and the bus driver is goddamn terrifying.
He kind of is. But yeah, so Olive's talking about how she's all of the other reindeer, and she's gonna go help, and then the bus driver and people on the bus go. There's an Inuit couple on the bus who go into great detail explaining what reindeers look like and how she's not one.
Yeah, they explicitly explain to Olive, "You are not a reindeer."
And then, well, and see, I guess this is supposed to be inspiring that no, she's going to persist and be a reindeer anyway. But the bus driver also goes, "Oh yeah, no, that line is all of the other reindeer, not all of the other reindeer."
It's an easy mistake to make.
Yes, and he says that for a long time he thought that the Pledge of Allegiance was about him, Richard Stands.
Now take a moment here and recite the Pledge of Allegiance to yourself until that joke makes sense.
I'll cut to the chase for you, but it's to the republic for which it stands.
No. For Richard stands, right?
Yeah. Well, it's
and Lady Mondegreen.
Again, yeah, see, that's the thing. They explicitly tell you this whole thing is based on what's called a Mondegreen. Because the original line in an old song is called, there's like, "He saw them laid upon the green." People heard that as Lady Mondegreen, which is Mondegreen is the go-to phrase for a misheard song lyric. Like, for instance, if you've ever heard Jimi Hendrix's "Excuse Me While I Kiss the Sky," then people have also always talked about how they've heard "Excuse Me While I Kiss This Guy." "Bad Moon on the Rise," from the Creedence song. Is it the Creedence?
Yeah, Creedence Clearwater Revival.
"Bad Moon on the Rise," classically misinterpreted as "Bathroom on the Right." One of my favorites is "Higher Love." It's like an 80s song. It's like "Get Me a Higher Love." I've heard it misheard as "Get Me an Iron Lung." That kind of thing. And it happens with Christmas songs too, like here, "All of the Other Reindeer."
I think my personal favorite is all the people who misunderstood Gwen Stefani's "I Ain't No Holla Back Girl" as "I Ain't No Harlem Black Girl."
Technically correct, but not the lyric.
No.
So yeah, they basically kind of explain what mondegreens are in this very moment, and despite that,
we're having headphones issues, people. Sorry.
Despite that, despite being very clearly told, "Oh no, you just misheard this," Olive is like, "Well, I guess I'm on the bus." No, you know what? I'm a reindeer. She starts explicitly going, "No, I must be a reindeer, and I'm going to
because I'm not like other dogs.
Right.
I don't like burying bones and chewing on things.
She's not like other girls."
Yeah.
So yeah, she's like, "So I must be a reindeer. So I'm gonna go help pull Santa's sleigh." So they get to a bus depot and have dinner, where the mailman shows back up in drag in order to trick Olive.
Hold on.
Sorry.
this diner
Yes.
also apparently explicitly caters to every single customer that's there.
Oh, you mean because Olive has the bone with dressing on the side?
And Martini has a sampler plate of dead fish.
And what does the bus driver have? He had something. Oh, he had the deep fried candy canes.
Yes.
Apparently, the closer you get to the Arctic, the more Christmas themed things get.
Christmathy?
Christmathy. The three of the thimble.
Oh, guys, we're going to take a quick break right there so that I can call our other co-host, Stan Wilson Lee.
While he's dialing, just real quick, the mailman shows up in drag, tricks Olive into heading out the back of the door and missing the bus.
Mm-hmm. Because apparently Santa is holding flying tryouts out back. Wink,
Yes.
wink.
She misses the connecting bus, and the other driver can't take her because he has to get back to his station or he's fired. Mm-hmm. Like right around Christmas. That's kind of a jerk ass move.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Let's see if he'll actually answer or not.
Oh my god, I want him to answer so bad. I hope you've woken him out of a deep sleep.
Hello.
Hey, buddy. How's it going? Good. How's Vegas?
Oh my God, it's awesome.
Good.
I'm a little behind. I'm in the hole a little bit, but it's okay. It's great.
You're talking about gambling, right?
As far as you know.
Okay. Well, Stan, did you have a chance to watch Olive, the Other Reindeer?
Yes, I love Olive simply because you hate it.
That is about the level of our discourse, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's Drew fucking Barrymore, man. It's Gertie from E.T., you know, so it's like...
Of all the places you could have gone to, you went... Jesus.
Right? But you got to realize I'm a little hungover. You know, it's like... And it's 7:30 in the morning here.
Oh, right. We forgot about the time difference.
And I've been awake for an hour. Trying to
why?
find cartoons on TV. I don't know.
God. Oh, okay, so you are getting in the Christmas spirit.
No, cartoons.
Well, that is fantastic. I'm sorry that you're behind. You've got another 2 days to make that up, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And started playing some blackjack last night and started doing pretty well. So I was able to tip the waitress and tip the dealers and stuff. So I was doing okay.
Maybe all that tipping is why you're so far behind.
Maybe. I was adding up I said, am I actually only $5 behind? Because I got $75 back on a $100 steak. And,
Oh, that's not too bad.
But then I remembered I tipped like $20 because it's $10 bets for blackjack, $10 tables. So I was already I was giving tips of $5, instead of $1 to the waitresses. So I'm like, I'm only $5 behind.
Wow.
Much like all of the other reindeer.
Me, though. Wonder Woman is not very wonderful to me this weekend, though.
What?
The Wonder Woman slides.
Oh.
The Carter Wonder Woman slides.
I was like,
Oh.
is Wonder Woman your blackjack dealer?
Well, you could be.
Jesus Christ. Are you okay?
Stan is dying.
Stan is dying. I'm sure that was a very pleasant sound for our listeners.
Hi, everybody. It's my birthday. I'm 52.
The pause helped.
Hi,
Yes.
I'm Stan.
All right. I think you need to get some more.
Oh my god.
You need to get some more sleep and then see a doctor.
You have a fun
And
time.
I haven't even smoked yet, so it's like...
Yet.
Yeah, I haven't had my cigars yet, so that's tonight and tomorrow, I think.
All right. Well, you enjoy Vegas.
Have
Good
fun,
luck
man.
at the tables, and we'll talk to you when you get back.
Awesome, man. Thanks, you guys. Peace out.
All right,
Peace out,
brother.
man.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. So that was our other co-host.
We didn't get
Stan.
much out of that, but
No, I didn't expect we would. So where were we? So Olive has just been kidnapped.
no. Was it this point she was kidnapped? Because I was like, no, she was trying to walk and catch up because the bus had left.
Right, yeah, she gets kidnapped and then she escapes with the present that was left to her by Deus Ex Machina.
Oh my God.
It literally, she's in the back of the mailman's truck. First, she finds a bunch of letters that he has been writing to Santa about how much he hates Christmas, but signing them like Billy and Johnny.
Right.
So she finds a package back there to Olive from Deus Ex Machina.
Oh my God! Didn't they? It would have. You know what? That would have been mildly clever if they had not. After she caught up with Martini, after that, said, "Do you know what Deus Ex Machina is?"
Denise, who?
Yeah,
is his response.
Yeah.
So she uses the present to escape the mail van and walks back to the bus station.
Right.
At which point I started falling asleep.
I'm getting sketchy here too. How did she? How did she get to the Arctic? I
don't fucking know. Somehow she gets to the Arctic.
Okay, well, before she gets to Santa, she gets to that bar with a bunch of like
that's
the elves
right.
and
He
stuff.
takes her as far as the bar. A Christmas themed bar with a bunch of
it's like basically workers from the North Pole where they hang out.
Mm-hmm. And there's Blitzen's brother Schnitzel.
Oh God, that was his name.
If it sounds like I
voiced
just made that up.
by Michael fucking Stipe.
Yes, there is
specifically so he could sing a song.
Yes, they do this whole bit where they are making fun of Olive for wanting to fly, so they toss her around.
Yes,
and they are tossing a dog back and forth in a bar, which is horrifying, and then threaten to...
Whoa. Before you get to that, now, after this, they sing a song called Hey, We're Not So Bad. Like, basically the song is like, yeah, we're just upset about how things are going. We're just, upset, but we're really nice people. Now, this is after they do what, Dave?
Threaten to take Olive to the top of the bar and throw her off the roof to see if she can fly.
Yes!
Needless to say, they don't. For some reason, Olive wins them to her side. Things are getting sketchy now. I'm starting to black out. They introduce the guy who wanted to throw her off the roof as, wait for it,
another Mondegreen, Round John Virgin.
Round John Virgin, which she explicitly says, oh, like in the song Silent Night.
What song?
Yeah. So... Skipping ahead, she ends up at the North Pole.
I think Schnitzel gets her up there somehow.
They have to swindle security to get her underneath the gate. She meets Santa and the other reindeer. She convinces them
to let her try. They're like, you're a dog.
Yeah, they're like, no, you're not a reindeer, you're a dog. But I can fly. No, you can't. Long story short.
Also, this is when she reveals that the mail is being sent by the evil mailman.
Oh, right. Santa is like, I don't even know if I want to do Christmas this year.
Asner, by the way, before he did Elf.
Look at all these letters I've been getting. Like, Dear Santa, I hate you. Dear Santa, don't come to my house this year. Olive helpfully reveals that these were all written by the same mailman.
Look, there's no postmark. How did you not catch that? You've been receiving mail for hundreds of years.
Yeah, so skipping ahead.
No. Before we skip ahead, a bunch of the Futurama and Simpsons voice actors are in this because Matt Groening produced it. So like Billy West, Tress MacNeille, they all show up. Tress MacNeille is Mrs. Claus. She's a couple roles, but she's also Mrs. Claus. I am pretty sure... I didn't want to go back and check. I'm pretty sure she's doing her fake sweet mom voice from Futurama. I'm pretty sure that's what she's doing for Mrs. Claus.
A precursor to mom. So they decide to go along with Olive's harebrained plan, they hook her up to the reins.
Like, this might work. We might all die. It's like basically the attitude
They all take off with Olive in Blitzen's place, and things immediately start to go wrong because despite how fast Olive is moving her legs
and how much she believes,
and despite the power of belief, she is just hanging from her reins
because she's a dog.
And I wanted this bit to be the rest of the movie. I wanted them flying from place to place while Olive just hung from the reins and occasionally bounced off things like fireplaces.
But she does start keeping up with them, and I pointed out to Dave. Dave didn't realize that. Dave was telling me, like, you were telling me, it just started happening. It's like, no. She starts flapping her ears.
Yeah.
She starts flapping her ears, and that helps keep her aloft.
Now, listeners, I was falling asleep at this point. It was only like 10 o'clock at night, but I was sitting on the couch watching this monstrosity of a cartoon with both of my dogs on my lap, and I was so bored, I was falling asleep. So I missed flapping her ears.
Mm-hmm.
This is at the point where I was only missing like 10 seconds at a time before I woke up.
Oh, I've been that kind of sleepy.
So they get to the first house to deliver presents and discover, oh no, the mailman followed Olive and Martini to the North Pole and swapped Santa's single bag with all of the presents for all of the children in the world.
Christmas magic
with his mail bag. So all they have is people's mail. So now, when they took off, when they started flying away from the North Pole and
Yes.
Olive was fulfilling her retarded destiny. I'm sorry I used that word.
No. It kind of sums it up pretty nicely.
I was like, oh, thank God this is over. She did what she wanted. She's one of the other reindeer now. This thing can finally end. But no, wait. There's still 10 minutes of plot to resolve.
Because the mailman is now chasing them.
So they have to turn around and go back and stop the mailman.
Who had also at this point kidnapped Martini.
Oh my God, I missed that too.
Yeah, he was in the back of the mail truck all tied up.
Oh, that's right, yeah. So they have to rescue Martini and
get the
get
present.
Santa's mail bag.
And it was at this point when they rescued Martini that he said the line that made she asked Martini, "Are you okay?" And he goes, "Shaken, not stirred." And that was that point I half shouted at my TV, "I'll kill you!"
I missed that completely.
It was like the Patton Oswalt bit about his brother watching Jerry Maguire. It was that moment.
Fuck you.
I had headphones on and I still was surprised at how loud I had said that, just straight to the screen.
You scared Stan's dog.
I did. I'm dog sitting for Stan right now since he's in Vegas, and I woke up because I just went, "I'll kill you!"
Oh my God.
Instinctively.
Shaken, not stirred.
And I am not angry. I don't hate puns either. It's just like at this point in the show, I was just upset at this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they get Martini back. They get the presents back. They make the deliveries. They're all.
It was at this point that I full on fell asleep. I have no idea what happened for the next few minutes.
And then Olive is happy, but then she spots her owner Tim's house, and she's like, oh, and sad. But they go back to the North Pole and they celebrate a successful delivery. Olive gets a gift of reindeer ears to wear. And they celebrate, and she gets cookies and blah, blah, blah. And then she goes home, and her and Tim make up. And the denouement, I'm going to be fancy about this because I hate this thing so much. The mailman who was tied up and hogtied in like mail supplies gets thrown into the zoo, and they just let him be one of the new penguins in the zoo because he's sort of gussed up to, I guess it looks like that, but not really. Martini becomes a mail carrier because he apparently enjoyed, because one of the things he had to do was help get the mail that the mailman hadn't delivered done. And he apparently enjoyed doing that while he was driving the truck, so he decided to be a mailman. I think all things went back to normal for Olive, I guess, and that's about it. That's it. That
is Olive.
Mercifully, it ends.
Hard pause. The other reindeer.
The movie. I don't want to say movie, but this show just like.
It was aggressively bad.
It was aggressively bad because it tried to coast on this affability and charm that just was not present for me. Like from the get-go, where it's like, here's a shit ton of exposition about this world that you need to know right up front. It's like the first 5 to 6 minutes, like where Dave stopped. It's like there was just aggressive, nothing short of exposition and backstory. Just like, does everyone know what we're rolling with? Good, let's go.
This was produced by Matt Groening.
He was in charge of the overall production, yeah. And it's like, I like the music. I hated the lyrics of the songs.
Now, see, I don't normally like to get this negative about things.
No, especially because it's a Christmas special.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
And I was
leeway.
prepared, like, I remember seeing it in 99, watching it live and hating it, but I was prepared for this to be the fun kind of bad.
Yeah,
it's the bad kind of bad.
It is, and it's like, that's the thing. It's like I said, it's trying too hard. It's smarmy. It's like it's trying too hard to just be like, because Futurama has that vibe. It's like yeah, just go with it. It's weird. This thing happened. It's weird. Just go with it. And it works for Futurama. It does not work here, especially with what they're trying to do.
Now, I have a theory, Chris.
Yeah.
And back me up on this. This was released December 17th, 1999.
Yes.
I have a feeling that Matt Groening looked at this film and went, "Oh well, fuck it. We've only got 14 days until the end of the world. Why not?" That's
Maybe.
a Y2K joke for you folks.
Maybe. It's about as fresh as what we watched.
If we have any listeners born after the year 2000, I don't imagine that we do. Y2K was a magical time where we thought the world was going to end because of a computer glitch.
Well, the idea was the computers wouldn't understand that 00 meant 2000 and not like 1900, and fuck all the timing systems up and everything.
Now, 19 years later, most elder millennials, thanks Eliza, wish that had actually happened. We would have been fine with it in retrospect.
That is technically what I am, an elder millennial, because I'm in like the front half of that generation.
Yeah.
So here's the I want to say this is like, in terms of quality, it's not the worst. In terms of overall production, it's not the worst. But what it is like, it's like one of those. It's a bad Christmas special with a budget behind it. Because I can name there are definitely worse specials I can name off the top of my head. Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, the animated special.
Oh my God.
If you've ever seen that, you'll know.
We should have done a double feature.
Oh my God.
I forgot that existed.
Cartoon Network used to love running that thing for the longest time. There's another one, I cannot remember the name of it, but I will just breeze through the plot real quick. It's about an elf who wants to be a musician. So he doesn't fit in at Santa's workshop, so Santa kicks him out. He goes to find his way. He gets a music career that involves him, an anthropomorphic dog rapper, and a couple other people. They are basically enslaved by a music mogul, and they have to teach them the spirit of Christmas so that they'll stop being assholes. And it looks terrible, it is terrible, and all the songs are terrible.
Ah, yes, this is the throw shit at the wall method of storytelling.
So yeah, that's like I'm definitely saying like there are definitely lazier and worse Christmas specials, but this one
is free on YouTube.
It's king of shit mountain. All right.
Yeah, I don't know if any of that was enough to convince you to watch this, but I hope it wasn't. But you can if you want to. Yeah,
I'll close by saying that it's like, you know what? I'm not one to judge, and I love a lot of animated shows that people would probably not enjoy, and because animation just has a way of capturing my attention. But this was just bad for me. But in the spirit of the holidays, if you enjoy this, enjoy it. If you like this special, it's on YouTube for free. You should. It's right there to watch.
And if you disagree with us about Olive, the other reindeer, please feel free to email me and tell me what you enjoy about it. You can email me at david.longwalk@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
We're going to wrap up our All of the Other Reindeer discussion there.
And in the spirit of the season, I'm going to give Dave a gift live on air.
You didn't fucking... Are you shitting me? Are you fucking shitting me?
Dave now has his own personal copy.
Chris just presented me with a DVD of All of the Other Reindeer. Special features include Olive the Songs. Oh my God, that's even a pun.
And there's a making of documentary. You can learn how this got made.
Olive, the Songs. Witty, clever, and fun, says the New York Times.
They're liars.
They're liars. Jesus God. Well, thank you, I guess.
You don't have to thank me.
Oh, good. During that whole exchange,
I'm getting presents returned.
Kara did get back to me. Kara's film for our historical accuracy episode is going to be From Hell, which is probably going to be hilarious because that movie is wildly historically inaccurate.
Oh, yeah, that's just going to be a laundry list.
Yeah, so that one's going to be fun. So that wraps us up for the 2018 podcast season for Long Walk Talks. Like I said, you got one more episode this year coming out this week for This Is a Work, the TLC episode. Who's going to be the special guest on that one, Chris?
I don't
know. Has Dogs told us yet?
I don't think he's told us. I don't know if.
Well, it'll definitely be the three of us and probably a special guest. And that episode will be coming out the week of the 17th.
Yes. And I just want to wish everyone a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever, and a Happy New Year.
Yep. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays to all of our listeners. If you want to see...
Enjoy your time. Watch your favorite Christmas special, even if it's this one.
Yes. If you want to see more of our work, check us out, our website, longwalk.us. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/longwalkpro. You can follow me on Instagram at dbhensley. Chris, do you have any social media to share?
I mean, I don't use it a lot, but if you want to bother me about things, I'll certainly answer you. My Twitter handle is at somedumbpun.
Nice.
And Instagram, why not? I'm at police_squad_files.
Nice. Thank you very much for listening, and have a happy holidays. We'll see you in 2019.
Yeah, well, you said this is the end of the 2018 season. Should we end on a cliffhanger?
What exactly would our cliffhanger?
I mean, just the season finale.
Okay, I'm going to insert a gunshot right here, and then you're going to scream out in pain, and we're going to wonder who shot Chris Barnes. Are you ready?
No. Oh, no.
Somebody shot Chris.